So, does anybody have any questions for our people, our interesting eaters here, our unique eaters? Come on over. All right, what's your name?
Anna.
Anna, what's your question?
For the lady who's pregnant, do you have any other kids that watch you eat chalk, or is this your first child?
I have, this is going to be my third son, and no one has ever seen me do anything.
Are you worried that they might pick up on that same bad habit?
I made sure that when I was eating the baby powder out, the door would be locked. I made sure that no one, not even my husband, has ever seen me. He just found out a few days ago that I have this problem.
And your husband is here today, right?
Yes, he is.
I'm going to come on over to him. Thank you. So you just found out that your wife eats chalk.
Yes.
So how does that make you feel as her husband, and that you didn't know this was a secret that she had?
I was completely shocked. I was utterly shocked.
Yeah.
There's no words to describe. I first felt shock, and then I felt fear for her health and for the child. Mm-hmm. I immediately wanted to let her know that I was there for support. I wanted to help in any way I could. Mm-hmm. I felt kind of helpless at a point because I've never heard that before.
Mm-hmm. So that's why we're going to get her help. And you're going to go to some of the sessions with her too?
I'll be every session. Session.
Great. Thank you. Thank you. Who else? Anybody else? Questions? Stand on up. Come on over. Hello.
Hi.
What's your name?
Callie.
Callie, what's your question?
It's for Lanika. You say you feel like a drug addict when you crave the toilet paper.
Mm-hmm.
What happens? What do you feel when you don't allow yourself to eat it?
That's a good question. Is there like a withdrawal or something, right?
Well, I kind of put myself in a place outside the world, like what's going on, and when I'm eating it, I feel as it's comfort, and when I don't have that comfort, like I kind of lose it. I tend to lose it.
What's the longest you've gone without having the toilet paper?
Well, after I had found out that it was stopping up my intestines, I had stopped for a minute, like let's say a couple of months or so.
Yeah.
Then I began eating it again.
Do you eat it every single day now?
Every single day.
Every single day. Wow. Okay, this is John. Hi, John. So you have an interesting issue. You're not sure if you have a disorder or not, right?
Yeah, I'm not. But after hearing the doctor speak, I may have, I guess, a little bit of something.
What do you think?
I eat very healthy. I eat 6 to 8 meals a day, every 2 to 3 hours. But I don't consider it a diet anymore. I consider it more like a lifestyle. Mm-hmm. But there are days where if it's coming on 2 to 3 hours and I haven't gotten anything to eat, or I can't get something to eat, I do get very moody or anxious. But she also talked about body image. Mm-hmm. And for me, that's the biggest problem because
I hear that you're like going to extremes. You're like measuring your food.
Yeah,
like...
I weigh everything I eat. I actually order my egg whites offline. I take a protein supplement, things like that. I measure everything out. For salad dressing, for instance, I'll use like flaxseed oil. I don't use dressings.
But you sound just healthy to me. You don't sound like you have an issue. Where do you think the issue is coming?
I think it's like when I look in,
maybe?
Yeah, I think, because I am very healthy, but when I look in the mirror, I don't see, what other people see. Like, I go to the gym and people will be like, man, you look great, or, oh, well, you trained me. And I go home and I'm like, I don't look that good.
You don't think that looks good? But tell everybody how much you used to weigh.
I used to weigh 230 pounds. I was a big dude. So.
And how much do you weigh now?
I weigh 190 right now.
Okay, so you were much heavier.
Yeah.
So your issue is probably more psychological. But do you think you have body dysmorphic? Do you know what that is?
No, I don't know what it is.
Body dysmorphic disorder is you look in the mirror and you see something that is not there.
Right.
You see like a heavy person when you have all these abs. You can't see the abs. There's something in your brain that's stopping that.
Yeah.
So I think that's something that you should look up and investigate.
All right.
Yeah. All right. But you're also healthy at the same time. Okay, we'll be right back. About some pretty intense eating disorders today, and I'm not sure I'm going to be looking at a roll of toilet paper the same ever again, or a dumpster, right? But joining us is a woman who says that we have not covered the most bizarre eating disorder of all. This is Valerie Frankel. She's the author of Thin is the New Happy. Stand on up, Valerie. So the most bizarre eating disorder of all is what?
It's dieting, Tyra.
Dieting.
It's something that we all do and we can't get away from, and I think it's the most emotionally and physically damaging eating disorder that we all have.
So you think it's more than the I wouldn't say dumpster diving is an eating disorder, but you say it's worse than the chalk?
I think that it's something that is emotionally devastating. If you're a chronic dieter your whole life and you ride those highs and lows of dieting, it has a cumulative effect and it makes you feel terrible about yourself. You
saw some really interesting dieting when you were at different magazines, at Mademoiselle magazine, which was a really really important fashion magazine that no longer exists. I used to actually model for them.
Right, I remember when you were on the cover.
Oh, cool. So tell me about the things in the offices there that you would see of the different editors.
Well, a lot of the people on a fashion magazine want to be slim for their job security. And so you had a staff of people who would eat, say, only grapes or jelly beans. There was one woman who had this ritual about drinking a laxative tea twice a day, and she would drink her tea, and then she would have to excuse herself to go to the bathroom. And the crazy thing about it was that we all admired her so much because she was so active and she was so
the discipline you guys admired.
Discipline.
Wow. So tell me about you. You feel like you had an addiction to this dieting, like it was a drug for you.
Dieting is an addiction like any other addiction. If you're not doing it, you feel out of sorts and confused, and it's like you have to do the next diet because you're chasing that same high that people chase when they're on a drug addiction of losing weight.
You said your first success was like a hit of crack when you would lose weight. What does that mean?
Well, if I lost weight, I felt such an incredible surge of confidence and self-esteem because I felt, okay, now I'm thin. But then what happens is that the weight comes back on because we all know diets don't work. And then you feel just as horrible as you felt high from the thing. You just feel shame and guilt and regret and a failure.
Tell me about your daughters. You have 2 daughters now, and I know you're not focusing on your weight, especially when you're in the house with them.
Well, I wrote the book Thin is the New Happy because I felt like I had to take care of my body image issues once and for all so that I could be a better role model to my daughters, because honestly I would rather die than have them grow up as chronic dieters, hating their bodies, not feeling comfortable in their skin. So my whole goal was to combat this horrible body image problem, stop dieting, think positive thoughts about myself, and role model it for my daughters.
That is just what I stand for.
All right.
All right. Well, thank you for being here. We'll be right back. Some of you have been really shocked or maybe even disgusted by what today's guests were eating. And I know that there are a lot of you guys out there who are dealing with eating issues of your own. So if you want to help or if you want more information about your not-so-normal eating habit, go to tyrashow.com, and I'll see you later. And now Fergie is going to sing for me.
Tyra.
Yeah.